You know, I'm sitting there going, okay. I'm going, shit, how do I run? You know, well, I'm running at 35, 40 miles an hour. So I got behind the wheel, and he was teaching me and everything. He had his bottle was going. And he told me, I'm gonna pick me a woman up tonight, so you're gonna have to drive while I do my business. And I'm sitting there going, oh Lord, have mercy. You know. And so we got to this truck stop, and he picked this woman up. And they're in the back diddling and doing their business. I'm driving this truck at 50 miles an hour. This is the first day I've driven a truck. And I'm sitting there going, okay, now what's next? So he said, well, when you get to the truck stop, you stop a mile before the truck stop, and I'll get behind the wheel. And he was like this. I said, oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to get back there. Inadvertently, these are the kinds of people that I learned from, people that live on the road. And I've slept in the warm sands of the Mississippi Valley, and I saw a hanging there when I was 6 years old. I never forgot that. So when people talk about civil rights, you know, I've lived this. My mom and my dad and I was coming through Mississippi, and this guy had been hanging for 2 days, and I looked up and saw this man. My mom put my face in her lap. So all of this in our country, I have lived and seen all of this. I've seen the country evolve from what we thought would never evolve from to the technological age today that we are still in the rough. We still have not learned a damn thing as people, is my point. Thoughts of a Common Man tells you all of this stuff about this transition of life, where we've come from. One of the things is, people say, we was talking, Barbara, did I get it right?
Yes.
Barbara and I was talking before. African American term, this is the new terminology for black people. And I said to myself, you know, are really? So I believe in my heart that everything living evolves. So we are an evolutionary principle, and we're just like flowers and the seas and anything else that lives. We evolve. We are African Americans, yes, by descent, but we're Americans first. And the thing about that is we have to get this identity thing down, because we need to be together. Because what is happening to our country in the book, and believe me, the Great War is coming. I do believe that. This is when the stock market, if it crashes, this is going to be the way that they're going to bring the country back. But we don't know where this war is going to take us, because technology is the big thing. Right now, I was in Saudi Arabia in 1974, 75, and again in 1970 to start off with, when the Shah fell. We was off the coast supporting before Ayatollah Khomeini came into being. So oil is the major point of our whole lives right now. But nuclear power and all these other things, all this stuff is evolving. Our society needs to look at the positive things of life, at my point, and not look at the negative things of life. Let me tell you about the Middle East. They were not supposed to assassinate Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. What has happened there is they have cornered the gold market. It's gotten smaller. Saddam had better than $8.6 billion. He had $1 trillion in Baghdad in the banks. It all disappeared. What was going to happen is they were going to establish gold as a standard for the African continent. So I predicted that the natural resources would be the big thing there. So once that happened, we faulted on supporting Africa, and China moved in, and right now they're plundering the whole African continent. This is what the book tells you about evolution and what's happening. Once that happens and that gets to the point, they're going to occupy. And again, one of the things the book talks about is the Chinese Navy. They're growing, and they're actually building aircraft carriers right now. They have not done that in 48 years. So they're actually moving toward having this global war. The book is very candid about war. It's very candid about the economy. And it's very candid about how we treat each other as people and how we evolve, what we want and how we want it. You know, I can't walk out my door now and not see something negative. Oh, such and such attacked somebody. You know, this guy shot and killed somebody. And the fiber is breaking down in our country. One of the things the book talks about is psychological aggressiveness. Big word. And I had to learn to grasp that. Figure out what the hell, what psychological aggressiveness? It's living mad, living angry, living poor, and living in class, what it is. You become aggressive psychologically, you don't have. So, our country's, one part of our country's up here, and one part's down here. And sooner or later, these down here, if you notice, there's shootings all over the damn place. There's school shootings there. I mean, people shooting, killing people everywhere you go. Psychological aggressiveness is coming into being. It's becoming a major element in our society. People don't want to see that. They don't think, they don't want to see that. You know, ego is a big thing with men. You know, today I have all women doctors because they're more attentive. Okay? They make you feel better. A man will sit there and look at you in the face and lie to you. Oh, I know you're going to die. I think. Women say, well, I'm going to save you. And I was looking at this comment from, I'm going to say this, and it's off key, to my friend Ali Belki. You know, domestic violence, as things transcend, and as things get harder and harder and harder, you know, infighting in the communities is going to grow. We're going to have to take that in our hands, and we're going to have to deal with it, and we're going to make sure we say something. If you see something that you can comment on, you know, comment on it. Don't get your butt kicked, so to speak. Thoughts of a common man. And again, as a common people, we're the ones that are going to have to bring this stuff. Because everybody knows that with this Trump cabinet, it's going to be a catastrophe. You know, and I'm not going to say anything about the future president except, you know, Lord have mercy, you know, really. Because again, 1932, 24 to 34, 32, up until 1939, it's all alive again. And it's like we have not learned anything about history. We have not learned anything about life. To let this evolve after 80 years. Okay? And I hope you guys read the book. I hope you enjoy what I've said. I love you all, and I appreciate everybody coming.